Tuesday morning to you. I'm Heather Brown, and we are here with CBSN Minnesota's morning update. So first, let's get you up to speed on both the news and the weather this morning. Kind of a gloomy day yesterday, a gloomy day today. It's going to be cold out there. Riley tells us that if you're up north, you'll see some snow. If you're down here, you might see that rain-snow mix, but it won't stick to the ground. Grab those jackets, though. Get those winter jackets back out because that wind is going to make it a little extra cold. All right, let's get talking about this. We do have some breaking COVID vaccine news this morning. The FDA has recommended a pause in the use of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines. The agency says it will investigate rare blood clots in 6 women who got the single-dose shot. Nearly 7 million people in the U.S. have received this version of the vaccine. Federal distribution channels, including mass vaccination sites, will pause the use of the J&J shot. So we want to know from you this morning, did you have a Johnson & Johnson shot lined up perhaps? How are you feeling about taking it? I mean, you're talking about 6 cases here out of a total of 7 million. They say it's very, very rare. They're doing this out of an abundance of caution. But this could really put a monkey wrench into the vaccinations and the vaccination appointments and the entire vaccination effort. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you have an appointment? What are you thinking about it? If you are watching here on Facebook, leave a comment, and I'm going to read through a couple of those in just a moment. Despite a curfew last night, protesters clashed with police for a second night following the death of Daunte Wright. So here was the scene outside of the Brooklyn Center police station last night. Officials say at least 40 people were arrested. Some police were injured, minor injuries, they say, by protesters throwing debris. This morning, the BCA says that Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter is on leave after she shot Daunte Wright on Sunday afternoon. Now, she is a 26-year veteran of the Brooklyn Center Police Department. Police chief called the shooting an accident, saying that the officer grabbed her gun instead of her taser. We are getting a first look at that body camera video recorded by Brooklyn Center Police. You just saw it right there. This is when they confronted Daunte Wright. We're going to turn the sound up on this, but we want to warn you that it is disturbing. In it, you can see the moment the officer shoots him. You can also hear her immediate reaction. It can be hard to see there. Things are happening quickly, but police trainers say that it is not impossible that Officer Potter made that mistake. She's the one who just said, I shot him. But she says, the trainers say there are certainly ways that this should have been avoided. The BCA will be investigating what kind of training she had. We're also learning more about Daunte himself. Those who knew him say that he would always let you know that he was in the room. They say he was always joking and he wanted to make people laugh, and did that by flashing a big smile. Hundreds of people also attended a vigil last night where Wright died on Sunday. It's become a place of mourning for the community, also a memorial site for Daunte. There's a raised fist standing tall there. That is a replica of the statue that is just 10 miles south in George Floyd Square. The trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is pushing forward. Today, the defense is expected to start presenting its case. Prosecutors called their final witnesses yesterday, including George Floyd's younger brother, as well as a police use of force expert. The judge also denied a motion from the defense to sequester the jury in light of Daunte Wright's death. Once the defense takes over, one big question does remain, though. Will Derek Chauvin testify? At this point, it is unclear if he will. Tonight on WCCO, with something new at 10 o'clock, we're going to look at a troubling trend in some Minnesota hospitals. That's younger people being hospitalized with COVID-19.
We see folks 30, 40, 50 years old with very little risk factors that most Minnesotans have. A little overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes. That's it. Who get incredibly sick, even if they don't die, will be compromised for the rest of their lives.
For the first time since the start of the pandemic, 70% of St. Cloud Hospital's patients are under the age of 65. Now, as the race against the variants and that vaccine continues, doctors tell WCCO's Liz Collin about their concerns for the days ahead. She visits a 26-year-old fighting the virus and shares his warning from his hospital bed. That's tonight at 10, right here on Channel 4. Minnesota officials are warning schools about a COVID-19 outbreak that's being linked to a wrestling tournament. More than 60 Minnesota teams participated in the Northland Youth Wrestling Association state tournament. This was held in South Dakota 2 weeks ago. Health Department traced at least 16 infections and 8 schools to cases that were tied directly to the event. The state urged all wrestlers and spectators to get tested for COVID right now. There is more fallout from Georgia's new voting laws. Production of the upcoming film Emancipation, that stars Will Smith, it's pulled out over the state's voting regulations. The new law, the thriller about a runaway slave, was scheduled to start shooting in June. Production would have brought millions to the state and local economy. New York City's annual Met Gala is coming back in person with 2 big events. One will be held in September, another one in May of next year. It's a high fashion celebrity event that was canceled back in 2020 because of the pandemic. There's a smaller fall event, that's the one in September, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Met's Costume Institute, with an exhibit that focuses on how people use clothing to express themselves. The larger spring gala, that one with all those fancy costumes, that'll be back next year. Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin are now new parents. The actors welcomed their first child together last week. It's a son named Dakota Song Culkin. Dakota was the name of Culkin's sister who died in 2008. A statement from Culkin's rep says that mother, father, and baby are all healthy and happy, and that they are overjoyed. Congratulations to that family. All right, let's head back to today's talker. I'd love to hear what you're saying about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The FDA, the CDC, asking to be put on a pause for now. We have Cindy saying, I got the J&J shot on March 24th, but I think I was fine. I'm not sure if I have to watch myself for blood clots now. What they're telling us to the people, the women who did get those blood clots, the 6 of them, it was within that 2-week span there. We also have Jackie saying, she already got her J&J shot, but there's emojis there that make you think, ooh, oh, okay, this is not great news. Art saying, we decided to go with Moderna because at the time it had statistically 6% better immunity stats, and we felt that this was significant enough to go with the 2 Moderna shots. You know, if you can have that choice, people are making the choice on what kind of shot. And Rachel says, oh, I was supposed to get one today, and ooh, hopefully, Rachel, we can reschedule your appointment. It's not clear yet how long this pause will be on those J&J shots, so hopefully get you rescheduled with another shot coming up pretty soon. Thanks everybody for sharing your feedback with us. We really appreciate it. That is your morning update from CBSN Minnesota. We are your only local streaming news source. Download our CBS News app. Find us on WCCO.